Hello, it's Neil Ball, your online marketing coach from workwithneilball.com. Today I'm going to demonstrate how to create a horizontal opt-in form when using getresponse. You'll notice in getresponse that all the templates that they provide are all of the vertical type, sort of running down the page like this. Every single one of their templates is like that, and sometimes you want to create a squeeze page where you want to have a horizontal opt-in form, and you can do that with HTML, but the problem with the HTML is that it's not as convenient as perhaps using the JavaScript, because there's less code to put on the screen. So what I've done is I've actually done this by using the JavaScript that getresponse supply, and then editing some of the CSS on the actual website to allow the form to run horizontally like this. Because by editing the CSS, you're able to change the position of these boxes. So I'll just show you how this screen was created. So if you take the page, I've got another version of this page here, and as you can see, it hasn't got an opt-in form here. And if I go into getresponse, I've got a form here, which is one that I've just created, which is the vertical design. It's a very plain design. I have put an optional button, my own button design on here, which you can do by just going into Show Advanced and pasting your when you're on Submit button, you're going to Show Advanced, and then paste the URL of your button, and you can actually have your own your own design of button here. Really, that's it. So I've positioned everything to be over to the left, and made it as plain as possible. So I've got a header. The things I've got on the screen at this moment in time, I've got a header, the actual box where you put the email, and I've got a button. So that's pretty much the setup that I'm working with here. If I now go to publish, you can grab the JavaScript from here and take that and go on to the page. And I'm actually using optimizepress on this on WordPress. So I'll talk about that in a minute, because it does seem to work slightly differently on here. But there's the JavaScript on the page. So if I now update the page, I'll just wait for that. And we now have, if I now open up that page, you can now see that the opt-in form has appeared here. Unfortunately, it's appeared with a vertical design, and on this page, if you remember, I said we're going to design a page which was horizontal like this. So what you need to do now is, once that's set up like that, you now need to actually go into the CSS and edit this. Now, depending on on your website, will depend on how you do this. On WordPress, I've found that different themes have slight variations on how you do this. So the first thing that you need to do is really identify where the CSS is that's going to affect the location of these boxes, so you can move them around. Now, you can do that by looking at the source code on the page. So if you go if you right click when your mouse is on the page and go view page source, then what you can do is you can actually look at the location. You're looking for something called style sheet. Now, you might find there's one or two locations, like on this page here. As I said, this is optimizepress. Now, with optimizepress, the location of the CSS that we need to actually edit is this typography.css. If let me just get rid of that one. If you were on I've got another site here where the location of the style sheet here is actually in style.css, so that's obviously slightly different. So once you've done that, just going back to this page, which is my optimizepress page, if I now go to the to get to this, if you go to appearance and editor, then what you need to do is, on this page, I'm working with as I said, the typography.css. So just try and see if I can get that without the speech mark around the edge. Yeah, got that. So if you just copy that, I find this is the easiest way. If you go onto this page and then Control F, you can actually paste the name of the file that you're looking at, and then scroll down, and there you are. Now, as I've said, if you're not using optimizepress, the chances are it's not going to be this file. It will probably be the one that's on the other page, which is the style.css. But the process is exactly the same. So once you've got onto here, if you scroll down to the bottom, what you need to do is just open up a little bit of a gap, and then I've got some code which you need to add onto the bottom of the here. So if we just put that there and paste that in. Now what you need to do on here now is this code has this number here and here. Well, actually, this is just my note on it, so that doesn't matter. But it's good practice to keep a track of the form ID from getresponse, so you know which code actually is being used for which of your forms, so you don't lose track of where you're up to. Rather than copying this code on the screen here, which I've pasted into here, and which is obviously prone to making a mistake, if you click the link at the side of the screen, then it will take you to my website, and I'll have that code on the page so you can copy and paste it and put it on your site. So if you now go into here and you look at on getresponse and look at the WID equals, that number there is the number here, and you need to make sure that that number is there, oops, yeah, there, and there. So all of those lines plus there have to have that. And once you've done that, you click Update File. Like that. If we now go back to this page, where is it? There it is. And if I refresh this page, it won't have made, it probably has made some difference. So what's happened now is that code has actually began to affect the location of these boxes. Now what you do now is, if you go into here, you'll see that you've got a left margin, and you can adjust the left margin and the top margin for each of the elements that's on the page. So you've got the title, you've got the input box, and you've got the button. And if you look at the code, you'll see this top one you don't need to change, I don't think, but you've got three here. So you've got the header, you've got the content box, I think they call it, which is where you actually enter your email address, and then you've got the submit, which is the submit button. So what needs to happen now is if I just go back to this page, we need to look at what we need to do. So everything's relative as well on this. So the position of this will influence the position of this, which will influence the position of this. So what that means is that the first thing you want to do is get the position of this one right, and once you've got that right, then start working on moving this one around, and then start working on moving this one around. So I'm fairly happy with that position on that. So I'm going to go for the input box here, or the content box as it seems to be called in here. So if we go here, and what we need to do is we need to actually change the position of the alignment on this. So at present the margin left setting here is set as 0. So if I change that to say 200 and go update file and then refresh, you'll see it's now moved over. So it needs to move over more, but you'll see it's relative, as I said. So what that means is these two, the position of this is relative to the position of this, and because that one's moved, this has also moved with it. So as I say, the best plan is to work sequentially through them until you're happy. So I want to move that over a bit more. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add a little bit more to that and call it, say, let's have a look, 290. Now I happen to know that that's going to be the position I want it in because I've done it before. If you've never done this before, will find that will be slightly different on your theme to this theme, and depending on the amount of the width of this text, that may also affect this. So once I've done that, I now want to move it up. So to move it up, if you use margin top, then you can change the position here again. Now 0 is the level it's at. To move it up, you've effectively got to go minus on it. So if I go minus 20 and go update file, you'll see in a moment that will move up slightly. It's not going to move up enough because again, I know where it should be. I'm not sure if I adjusted the right one there. Yeah, I did. So just changing this again, we change that one to minus, I know that needs to be minus 95 for mine. I've got a feeling I think I need to change another number as well in a second, but no, that's what's fine. Right, so you can see now everything's in line because everything's relative. So the next thing I need to do is move the button over to the right. So to do that, you go to the bottom here, which is the WF-submit, and you need to go margin left, and what I'll do is I'll put the number straight in because I know what it is, and I'm going to put 290 on there. So if I update the file and go to here, I'm just waiting for it to update. There it is. So now if I refresh, that button should move all the way across, and there we have it. So you could still play around with these a little bit and pull them together until you're happy with it. Now what I found with the optimizepress theme is that the width of this box you adjust in getresponse. So in the settings you can actually in the design, what you can do is you can actually drag the width of this by resize. So if you want this to be wider or narrower, you can actually adjust it here. So if I narrow that down so it's just the same width as it says enter your email here, and then I save the web form and now come back to here and refresh, you'll see it'll go narrower like that. So you can actually adjust it, and that's the beauty of using the JavaScript, is that you don't need to change any of the code on the screen. It will, the position of these will obviously vary as you change some of this information. So you do have to be a little bit careful. But it's much neater than having the HTML and the code on the page, or I think it is. So that's pretty much how you do it. If you were doing this with most other themes, as I said before, you'll find that you need to adjust the style.css file, which is that there, which will do exactly the same as I showed you before. When you come into where is it? Yeah, if you come into here, you'll find that the style.css is, again, if you just go control, I'd hope if I did that right, style.css. There you go, it's at the top of the styles usually. So that one there is often the one that you would adjust on a lot of themes, but for optimizepress it doesn't seem to work like that, and that's why you need to do what I showed you before. To save you typing out this code, if you go to my website and you can get to it by clicking the link underneath or at the side of this video, depending on which site you're seeing it on. You'll be able to copy and paste this code from the page on my website. For more information on how I coach and how I train, plus the things that I do for my team, go to www.workwithneilball.com. Again, that is www.workwithneilball.com. Until next time, goodbye.